I think I ask you the same question every year, it seems like, but to see your seniors go out with a win and play well in their last game here, what does it mean to you as a coach?
Yeah, I mean, it's ironic. It's uncanny, I guess is the right word. Tristan to make that shot. We can go all the way back to Thomas Rogers. I mean, the list goes on. Our guys that they come in, and that was a heck of a little fall away. The guy bodied him. But certainly to see Jake play like that, Jordan out there gave us good minutes, and I thought Reese once again. You look at his stat line: 8 for 10, 3 for 4 from 3, 21 and 9, really good. And I want to say this: a lot of stuff gets talked about the state of college basketball. Well, let's celebrate a guy like Reese Beekman, who came to Virginia and he stayed 4 years. He tested, he went, but he decided to come back and help a team win. And he's always been a good player, but he's taken a step each year, and he's improved, and he's been here for 4 years. And let's talk about that. I know we talk a lot about transfer portal. I know we talk a lot about NIL. I know we talk a lot about things, but this young man chose to come here. He's a leading career leader in steals. He's won 2 ACC championships. He's done so much, and that's what's right, and it's good to see. And I know you didn't ask that, Jeff, but I had to say it.
But it was a good answer, so that's fine.
Yes.
Yeah. Tony, you said that you don't dwell on it, but the guys are aware of the situation with NCAAs and all of
Yep.
that. It seemed like they came out with that kind of intensity. Did
Absolutely.
you like the focus, the locked in tonight?
Yeah, we just talked about trying to immerse ourselves in the game. Senior night has its own emotions. The importance of the game, of playing well, and the only way we can talk about it is, we try to just play, let the stuff go. Like, there's obviously pressure to perform. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't all those things we said, but you got to replace those thoughts and those things with the good stuff. Playing for your brothers, playing with power, playing with a strong mind, playing with freedom, and playing past mistakes, and locking down and knowing you got to we talk about it, I've used the reference, it's like the horses, put the blinders on and dig in and just go, and they needed to do that. And again, Georgia Tech's been playing good basketball. They've won, I think, 4 of their last 5. They went into Wake, and I thought, it was important. Boy, do we get good lifts from Tane Murray and Dante, obviously, and the stats, obviously, of Jake and the other guys, but it was really important. We had to, when they get the ball moving, they can get it shooting, and they're athletic, and they have some guys. So to stand in there and the crowd got behind us with the importance of the game, it was just about that stuff. So we tried to dig in and lean on each other, and I thought it was, obviously a special night.
Yeah, Tony, you just mentioned Tane Murray. Could you elaborate on what he gave you tonight coming off the bench like that?
Yeah, that's another good story. I mean, here's a young man who, hasn't played much. It's been a little bit more this year, but up and down. He was very sick, wasn't even going to make the Duke trip. He was been trending in the right direction. He gives us another guy that can space the floor. And so, he'd been practicing well, and I knew leading up to this I wanted to use him more, and just, he's tough. And he's faithful to just being about the right stuff. He's in his 3rd year, and he's getting his time. And again, on a very big stage or in an important game, he stepped up and delivered.
Yeah, Tony, you talked about Reese and just how his journey kind of hasn't been talked enough about, but just kind of what he's done in his game, does that get talked about enough? I mean, he's not been on a lot of awards lists, but kind of the stats, and you saw what he did tonight.
I really hope, and I believe this, the important people see it and know, and that's what matters. The important people. His game is understated. You got to watch him over time. But what he's done to get a 3rd place finish for this team, and with having the most experience is a sophomore who's played 19 minutes in IMAC, and then Ryan who played 10 or 11. That's it. Everyone else is pretty much new to this. He's had to have a lot on his shoulders. He's had to play well on both ends for us to have a chance to be in games, not win games, be in games. And that's a lot. And whatever, people are saying where he is on lists and all that stuff, he's helping us win and helping us continue to advance. And the next level people who understand, I think they see that. And I sure hope they do. And he's a much better player coming back, and I think he's going to help someone else at the next level. I'm pretty certain of that.
David?
Tony, Miles Kelly's their leading scorer. You held him without a point tonight, only 4 shots. Yeah, 4 shots. I think Isaac was on him
Yep.
most of the night. What were you all looking at defensively there?
Yeah, I mean, George can get going for them. Just a freshman, he's real good. Obviously, they're front court player. But, Isaac has really, again, he's in his second year. He's still young, but, boy, he's taken a step defensively with his ability to sit down in a stance, slide, contest shots. He understands the system a little better. And I thought he has given us some nice performances defensively. And, I think, obviously, after the Duke game, we struggled. They took it to us. And we just tried to recommit, and that's kind of been a story of this team. We've gotten knocked down pretty hard about 6 or 7 times, and a lot of teams, they just they don't get back up. But I appreciate how these guys got back up and stayed together, and just you get humbled, you eat your humble pie, and then you come back and fight and live with the results, and that's what these guys have done. And I think they knew they had to do it tonight. Of course, making some shots, but on the defensive end, that was everything. And Isaac actually was a key in this game. Of course, Reese was, and Dante and some of the other guys, but they made a difference.
Tony, you guys hit 12 three-pointers tonight. In the Boston College game, you changed up the lineup. Isaac talked about running those quick hitters to get him looks. What worked tonight to get you some good looks from 3?
Yeah, I mean, I just think our guys moved hard. We screened well. We started the game different than I started the second half. But I wanted to start the seniors kind of in that game. But again, I think the way Tane, it was one more shooter and spacer and mover on the floor. Obviously, Reese was getting open, and we got some stuff. We didn't score a ton. I don't know, points in the paint. We had 26. We don't always throw it inside and score around the rim. So it is important for us to get different kinds of looks and as many rhythm shots as we can. And some teams, they'll guard you differently. But I thought our guys were pretty persistent at moving, and the ball, we had a couple little wrinkles with the bye week. I thought that helped us too.
Hey, Coach. Congrats on the win, and congrats on locking up the 3rd seed. Going forward, how do you keep this momentum going into a single elimination tournament in a situation where you won't even know who you're playing until a day before?
I actually don't. We'll play Thursday at what time? What's the late one? I'm sure you guys all love that, don't you? At least the older guys in the group here. The younger doesn't matter to them. I don't know who I'm looking at or I'm talking to. So, I think you keep preparing well. Obviously we'll play on, is it Thursday? Is that correct? We said so. Again, just keep, use this momentum. We know we got areas to keep tightening the bolts, but prepare as well as you can, and you get into that. And again, single elimination. I don't even know what that means. Who do we play? The whatever game it is. There's such a congestion in our league, and everyone's capable, and you have to be ready. And we've learned that the hard way many times, but it's good to be in this spot and play meaningful games at this point in the season. David?
Tony, you mentioned the ability of this team to bounce back from some hard lessons. You are the first team in ACC history to lose at least 5 games by 20 points and have a winning ACC record. Do you take pride in that?
I mean, I think what I think is we've had to squeak some games out to win, and when we're not right, we've gotten, blown out. But yeah, because it's easy for some young men to say, well, we just got, beat by 25 or 30. It's been hard. We haven't been able to score well, and just keep showing up and keep the spirit strong and have, hope springs eternal, and as far as that, and that's how it's had to be. And I told them after the game, I said the bones are good in this program, the foundation's good. I said it's good because of the character of the young men. And again, you've heard me use this quote often: you better have a group of guys you can lose with or go through adversity with if you're going to be successful. And we've had our fair share of that, and they've stayed together that way. So again, we've won 13 games in this league. We've won 22 games. We've finished in 3rd place. And yep, we've gotten blown out, but we've won. And we haven't had any, we've had some big losses, but not any bad losses in terms of non-conference. And so I think that is a real good job with the team that's pretty inexperienced and having a guy lead us like Reese.
Yeah, Coach, of course, you're looking towards the ACC tournament next, but what does a bounce-back win like tonight do in terms of making a case for the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, I mean, I think it speaks for itself. Again, obviously, that'll take care of itself. I mean, that's obviously we want to keep playing well, but You know, again, I think what we've done, and there's a strong case to be made. And I think hopefully when those doors are closed, common sense prevails.
Tony, one more on Reese. Going back to last April when your roster was down to like 3 guys, how nervous were you with Reese playing well in the combine and about him returning or not? Were you on pins and needles about?
Well, no, with all that, I just want what's best, and that's what I said, Reese. I want what's best. You've served this program well. You're chasing after a professional career, and if you get the information and you feel it's right, support you all the way. But if you come back, there's going to be a lot demanded of you, and I know it'll help your game. As I said, he's a better player, but obviously without him, I mean, we would have probably had to add another piece, and it's hard to replace experience. You know, again, experience. You can bring in older guys, but experience like him, and I just have liked what's happened. But we would have crossed that bridge when we get to it. But again, I think he'll be well served for that. And yeah, don't want to think about this year without him, and we don't have to, so that's good. Thanks, Tony. Yep.